Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is episode number 4 of the enclosed trailer build. You might recall that I've shown you earlier that I have already cut the wall steel to size. When I first got them, they were all lined up in my garage and just ready to go. So basically I started up by welding the corners at 90 degrees, and then my wife helped me lift them up and put them in place. And then after that we started working on the roof supports. The roof supports are 2x2 1/8 steel square tubes. So I basically made some brackets so we can just position them one at a time, and then I tack welded them, and it turned out to be not bad. We needed to use ladders for that. I have already also framed up a 14-inch by 14-inch opening for the roof, where I'm going to put a vent in it, or AC down the road, who knows. I had already welded it and ground it smooth and made sure that it was ready to go for the when I position it up on the roof. So it wasn't as bad. This was the heaviest piece of steel that we had to lift up to the roof, but it wasn't bad. And then pretty much finished up the rest of the wall supports. They are 2-inch by 1-inch rectangular tubing. Pretty much just make sure that they're square and then tack weld them in place. It didn't take us a long time. It took us pretty much 1 day to get the all the walls and the roof all together. You can see here it's still missing a couple of pieces. Mostly I left the door frame and the 2 windows for the end. These are the frames for the windows and the door, but everything else went fairly smoothly. Rainy day today. So the biggest challenge I've had in this build was basically trying to keep the rain off the trailer. I don't have a tarp big enough to cover the entire thing, but I have several smaller tarps. This is what I have been doing lately, is just covering it up. It's been raining for the last 2 days, so not much work going on. And on top of that, last night there was a windstorm, and I was 10:30 p.m. trying to cover it up with my wife because it was all blown apart. Anyways, there's still water that got in and a little bit of rust forming here and there, but it's not really much I can do. Well, I had to do some arts and crafts. I designed a hinge for the rear door, and so I tried a couple of different designs and I ended up with this one here. And I tried it out and it worked out good. And then after that was done, I traced it out. This kind of looks like my road map here. I had to make small adjustments, but basically I'm gonna plasma cut it, smooth it out, drill the holes and get it all ready. And then this bar here is the bottom bar for the rear door. So I already marked it all up. I'm gonna mock it up in place and then tack weld it onto the rear bumper. Here they are, all cut. Probably took me about 10 minutes to do. The only thing I have to do is remove the slag. All freehand. I'll just clean them up and make sure that they're all the same. But I love my plasma cutter. It actually works really good. The only problem with the plasma is because it's using compressed air. If you're in a confined space, you need to wear a respirator. There's a lot of smaller kind of dust particles, metal particles that just float up. Here's a quick, nice example here. This is my toolbox, and you can see the metal dust floating up in the air. The reason why they're accumulating there is because there's a magnet on the other side. So just have to be careful, proper safety equipment. All right, so they're complete. It took me about 45 minutes to get them all done. The problem is the hole here is too big, so it's a 5/8 hole, and I had to start off with a very small drill bit and then go incrementally up. And that takes quite a bit of time, and I had to use cutting oil, etc., and clean them up after it's all done. So there it is. All right, so working under the tarp, I installed those brackets. It's 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. So they're tack welded now. So basically the idea is, as the door opens, it's gonna stay right about here. So there's going to be a little gap. I'd say maybe 2 inches. But I mean, this is a gap from the floor to the back door of the garage. So from here to here, there's about 2 inches gap. I think it should be okay for my buggy. They seem to be working fine now. I can close it, open and close it. Now, I don't know what kind of problems I'm gonna get when I'm gonna weld it all up, because when you weld it, pretty much there's some warpage, and I don't know if it's gonna still open or not. But in any case, I'm gonna weld it all right now. I'm gonna test it out and see. Okay, so it's all welded. It did warp a little bit. Actually, this tube here actually squished down because I welded on the top. So I tried to do as much welding as I can while everything is installed, and that kind of helped quite a bit. The good news is that it's still working. So it still opens, no problem. I had to remove this bar to weld the inside here because I couldn't reach them. But after I tried to put it back on, it wouldn't go in. Some of the bolts wouldn't go in. So I just got a pry bar and I pried it off because this kind of bent a little bit. So all I have to do now is just make sure to build the rear door while I have this installed. And I'll make sure also to weld the rear door all together while everything's already installed. As you can see, these are already cut to 45, so all I have to do is just put the upper pieces. And I added about a 3/8 piece of steel here because I'm gonna have about let's say 200 thou of aluminum tread plate underneath it. Wanted to give it a little gap also just in case. So it's looking pretty good. Good work today, even though it's raining. Still have a few things to do inside the garage, and pretty much done for today. So this is the inside of the trailer with the tarp on it. I had to frame in the windows, the roof vent, the other window, and the door on the other side. And I also put in some brackets for the awning. So they're all there. Unfortunately, these tarps didn't work very well, and I ended up with a whole bunch of rust on it, but it's okay. I also put a mount there. I'm sure you can see that. This is for the winch. I'm gonna have a winch for the door. There it is. Almost ready. I need a couple days of nice weather, tear down the tarps, and then paint it.